Hey there, guys. So, for those of you who don't know, coming up this weekend, Paul Smith is going to be travelling over to Germany for his third shot at a world title. It's going to be against the current WBA champion, Tyron Zeuge. I know we have a bit of a dodgy, um, confusing situation with the WBA right now at 168 because George Groves just won the title against Fedor Chudinov. However, that was the super title, and this one's going to be for the regular title. I know it's confusing as fuck, but we've gone over this already. That's boxing. Things don't have to make sense. Um, yeah, Paul Smith's getting a third world title shot. I've already spoken in previous videos about how I think that that's a bit unfair that certain British fighters like Groves and Smith seems to be getting title shots out of the blue. I mean, these guys they keep losing, yet they keep being given every opportunity, as many opportunities as it takes for them to become a world champion. And I think it's just to do with promotional support and stuff like that, and where they come from. I mean, these guys, they just get everything handed to them, don't they? But yeah, Paul Smith. What I think is quite interesting about this one, or however, what has become more interesting is that I don't know if you guys know this, but in Tyron Zeuge's last fight, where he fought Isaac Ekpo, and that fight only took place in March. That was only a couple of months ago. He suffered a nasty, and I mean a nasty cut. Isaac Ekpo was very, very reckless with his head, very dirty in the fight. He opened up a nasty cut over Tyron Zeuge's eye. It was with a headbutt, which, in my opinion, looked intentional, and it wasn't the only headbutt in the fight either. There were quite a few clashes of heads that were instigated by Isaac Ekpo, and then he was really targeting the cut viciously after opening it up, and he ended up losing the fight by a technical decision, and rightfully so. And yeah, but what's interesting is that was only a couple of months ago, and Tyrone Zeuge is already stepping back in the ring. I mean, a cut like that takes a little bit of time to heal, doesn't it? So I'm just thinking, has Tyrone Zeuge had the right sparring for this fight? Is he gonna be affected by that? You don't know, because this is a guy that's 25 years old. He's only had 20 pro fights. He hasn't really competed at a very high level. I mean, if you compare his resume to Paul Smith's resume, it doesn't compare. I mean, Paul Smith has been in the ring with Arthur Abraham, Andre Ward. He's been in the ring with Groves, De Gale. He's done numerous rounds of sparring with people like Carl Froch and Chris Eubank. So, this guy is. He's also sparred with Tony Bellew. So this guy is a very, very experienced guy who's been around for years. Who's been very prominent in the domestic scene. And if Tyrone Zeuge isn't prepared, if that cut causes him some issues, if he hasn't been able to spar properly, then who knows? This could actually turn out to be a very dangerous fight. And the real reason I wanted to make this video is because could you imagine if Paul Smith becomes world champion? Could you imagine that? I mean, what a mockery that would be to the world title. I mean, if we have George Groves and Paul Smith, two guys that are guys that have challenged for world titles and have been comprehensively beaten. If we have both of those guys holding the same world title at the same time in the same division, and perhaps going to fight each other to consolidate, I mean, the world title is just going to look a joke, isn't it? But either way, I'm hoping that Tyron Zeuge is able to pull off the victory. He should beat George Groves. I mean, to me, he's the better boxer, but the problem is I'm kind of concerned because of what happened in his last fight. I'm kind of concerned, as I said, about the cut. And has he been able to spar? Has he been able to prepare for this one? For some reason, the Sauerlands, who are Tyron Zeuge's promoters, for whatever reason, they were very, very keen to get this fight on as quick as possible. And I really don't understand. I think maybe Eddie Hearn has been, offering the Sauerlands a few dollars to fucking get this one on. For whatever reason, they really, really wanted Paul Smith to get this fight. They seem to love giving Paul Smith title shots over in Germany. I don't know why that is, but for whatever reason they're doing it. Perhaps they're trying to set up a rematch between Paul Smith and Groves because Groves, for those of you who don't know, is also promoted by the Sauerlands. So perhaps they don't want Tyron Zeuge to win this fight. Perhaps they feel that the quicker the fight happens, the more of an opportunity to win Paul Smith has. I don't know. I mean, it's all really weird, but for whatever reason, they really wanted this fight to happen as quick as possible. And we'll see what happens. It should be an entertaining fight because Paul Smith, even though I don't really like Paul Smith, he is fairly entertaining to watch. He does take risks in the ring. He comes forward. He attacks the body. He's a, kind of a vicious fighter in there. He's very aggressive, despite being very limited technically. So let me know what you guys think anyway. There's a lot happening this weekend in boxing. However, I've just been too busy to really keep track of what's been going on. But I'll probably find time to watch this one. If I don't watch it live, I'll just check it out on YouTube the day after. Yeah, sorry for the lack of videos. I'm not even using my computer anymore. It's fucked. It's bust. So I'm using a friend's at the moment. But let me know what you guys think anyway. And do you think that this is a good fight? Would you like to see would you like to see a rematch between George Groves and Paul Smith for some WBA consolidation? I mean, how fucked up would that be? Let me know what you guys think anyway. Thanks for watching.